Geopolitically, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they sipper pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force them as simple that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature that mean extorted it. They forging it if news anchors informants who informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this, we courting ships important. Yes, of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were snoring tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they sip with pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?
In a world, just like I'm trying to get the mic working, bro. What's up, everybody? How's it going? In a world where no one knows what the world is. What a clown world, bro. Audio, mic. Yo, it's not picking up my mic. I'm gonna fight somebody, dude. I don't know what's going on. You guys can give me some feedback on the audio, but I think it's coming through my my computer right now. Hey, Austin, how are you? Good. How are you doing, Melissa? Shalom, Austin. Yah bless. Shalom, Yah bless you, Wendy. Where are you? Milwaukee. Beard's looking epic, bro. Thank you, man. I'm trying to get it there. We'll rock with the audio, but I'm just salty because it's not the mic, right? It's I'm gonna try one more thing. But yeah, so we're in Milwaukee. At least till tomorrow. I can't really give dates or anything. We're kind of playing it by ear based on what happens. Let's see if this will actually work this time. There it is. In a world. All right, we got the mic back. Sorry for the slow intro. It'll be okay. You coming to Minnesota? I have to hit you up on your website. I am coming to Minnesota, and yeah, you can contact through the website. I'll have to catch up with everything. I heard someone ask about the 21 Pilots song. It is REMX remix by West Blaze. I'll show it to you. I love playing that one for normies because they've all heard that song, so it like triggers them, you know. Bam, bam, bam. Share screen. So that's it. You see it?
Yeah. Wake up, you need to wake up, you need.
So there you go. West Blaze music. Wake Up, REMX remix. Are you going to do activism at the Bucks game? Indeed, we are. So that is why we are in Milwaukee. Because the NBA Finals are going on right now, and Game 4 is being played in Milwaukee, which we were close by. I'm like, we're obviously supposed to go there. And we were planning on going back down. I feel like Yash showed me that we were supposed to go up to Upper Peninsula via other people in the local area. So that's what we did. We went up that way. And so this is where we will be flat smacking tomorrow night. Oh, pressed the wrong one. Sorry, guys. I'm a little rusty. Bam. That's right. Oh, yeah. So apparently there's like 25 to 30,000 people, and we are going to jump on a microphone and flat smack them as they all enter to the stadium. You know, like while they're actually watching it and cheering and being drunk, and it's the first time their city's ever made it to the finals in like 40 years, and they're really on the edge of their seat. And they're playing the audio very loud, and people are screaming and cheering. You're not going to hear my PA system, but we're going to do activism leading up to the game as people go in with their tickets and people go into the square where tens of thousands of people gather outside to watch it on giant screens. So it's going to be pretty epic. Hopefully we can glitch the matrix or something happens, and maybe we even, I don't know, end up on the news or something, right? But there you go. Pretty cool. Pretty epic. I mean, let's be real. Who flat smacks the NBA Finals, you know, on a PA system? Beard's looking manly, my brother. Thanks. So, name of the stream is Spells Cast Everywhere. I'm not going to do a super long stream. I know I didn't do a stream yesterday or the day before, but we're just getting everything situated. So we are in Milwaukee now. I'm not going to lie. It's the one thing. I'm not really nervous, but I'm just kind of like, this is going to be pretty epic. This is going to be pretty wild. But we'll see how it goes. I know the Father's got my back, you know. They'll definitely converge on me in something like this, like the finals. So anyway. So basically what I've come to the realization today, what motivated the stream was, and I mean, I guess we've all kind of known this for a while, but like literally right now, the people that are not waking up, they are actually in a spell, right? So like they studied MK Ultra, how to brainwash you with frequencies and manipulation of all kinds of different introductions of media. And then they put it in the form of television. And now laptops and iPads and iPhones and Androids, whatever those are. So people are literally having spells cast on them on a regular basis now, like literally. So when you're talking to someone and you're breaking down like any logical thing, not even the flat Earth, but the flat Earth is obviously one of the biggest examples. The heliocentric model is a spell that was cast on you at a very young age and ingrained into your subconscious and conscious for a very long time, just this spell that was cast onto you. And people were under that spell. So you're like, based on the radius of the Earth of 3,959 miles, we're not supposed to see this mountain from 255 miles away. It's supposed to be blocked by 1 mile of Earth curvature, but we can see the mountain, bro. That's impossible. We falsified the radius. And they say things like, how do you explain eclipses then, stupid flat earther? Wouldn't you fall off? Whatever they can come up with, right? Any question they can ask. What about explain volcanoes? That is one I get more frequently than you would think. Or explain earthquakes. They're under a spell, meaning they do not have the capability of critical thought right there. Like honest, logical, critical thought. Logos has been ripped from their cognitive ability, and they no longer have order in the way that they process information. They are under a spell, like a puppet. Right? Perfect example of a spell that happened over the last year and a half. I made this meme, like one of the first memes I've made, right? A while back. This is called a spell. I mean, literally, look at them walking around with signs, I can't breathe, chanting, I can't breathe, while they are wearing a mask. You don't say, bro. You don't say. And so they set that up. They set it up. The importance of the spells is that you have been presented with the spell, and you must choose to absorb it for it to be effective and to remove their repercussions, at least in their mind. They're not accounting for the metaphysical repercussions, right? It's just natural law. But that is why they must cast the spells like this. That is why they've put it all out in plain sight, and that's why they said that the Earth is revolving around the sun 66,600 miles per hour, using gravity from 1666, with the north and south latitude at 66.6 degrees on a 66.6 degree tilt going, like, you get it. Okay, they had to put it out there. That's why, even if you don't comprehend it, right in front of you, Disney was shoved down your throat from a young age, and they drew a firmament, and then the Tower of Babel goes through it. They have to present it. So when you walk around holding that sign while wearing that, and you don't put together that it is a spell applied on you, it doesn't matter. You walked around wearing it, prohibiting oxygen while holding a sign saying, I can't breathe. That is your physical behavior operating in compliance with the spell. Spells are very real. I will say that like people can't just cast a spell onto you. That's not how that works. Like, especially if you have the protection of the Father and the Spirit, like they don't just cast a spell on you. Someone can go get a voodoo doll of me and do whatever they want to it. It's not going to affect me. The Father is protecting me, right? That is why they have to make you receive the spells. And I know a lot of guys know the basics of this, but this is the most applicable time in history when it comes to the spells. You need to start detecting them. If you can't detect them, then you need to stop flooding down your mind with all kinds of propaganda, with all kinds of degenerate rap music, or just secular music. I occasionally listen to like a Trevor Hall song or something. I'm just saying, you guys listen to rap music all day, every day, and it's mainstream rap. My only motivation to even make rap is just some people have something of value to listen to. That's why I always prop up the people I think do have value in their music, and I don't like to listen to things that cuss. So it's very limited what I can listen to. I feel the pain. I love music, and so I understand why people listen to it all the time. But if you are listening to this degenerate music and it's just innocent music, no, it is literally a spell that you are looping over and over. You're not understanding the implications on your everyday life. If you're watching porn, if you're going around having sex with all kinds of people, spiritual residue, you've had a spell cast onto you as if, being promiscuous is acceptable or normal, and you've become desensitized. That is a spell, right? These are very intricately designed spells. Dare I say they have metaphysical motivation, right? As in, of course, intrinsically a spell is metaphysical, but I mean, there's something beyond the physical that is motivating these things. Some of them are so meticulously orchestrated, there's no way. It's almost a revelation, right? And I said this on an Owen Benjamin stream earlier this year when it hit me. So, revelation, apocalypse, time of things being revealed, veil removed. As the veil is removed, and let's say the enemy's mask is being removed, they have told you to put a mask on symbolically. As the mask is removed, the veil is removed. It's numerous things, right? It symbolizes you being a slave. It's you. Once you put it on, you have agreed to the spell of compliance. So anyway, and we've been engineered with this our whole life. And I know a lot of truthers, these are like basics right here, right? But check this, right? So one of the most famous series of movies right here, Harry Potter series, book and series. This isn't just some innocent little fictional story. This is to get children desensitized to the casting and receiving of spells. And there are actually real spells set in these movies, right? Real Wiccan spells. Okay, so we've been desensitized with this from a young age. This is why you spell words. This is where we're going to get into some gravy right here, okay? And this hit me yesterday. So there's a song by Nas and Damian Marley, and one of the lines in it is, who made up words, who made up numbers, and what kind of spell is mankind under? And I used to love that song. I don't listen to it now, but there's even like a flat earth reference in it, right? Like back in the day, everybody thought the earth was flat. If you went too far, you would fall off. Now the earth is round. If the shape changed again, everybody will start to laugh. Anyway, but my point here is this hit me yesterday, and this is wild. What even is math? What is it? Right? Like, is it valuable? Yes, it's valuable for things that we use in the current society with the current constructs that we have. Like counting things, that's valuable. That's cool. Keeping up with days, sure, if you want to count them. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Shabbat, right? Our modern calendar is an example of how just the need to try to quantify things has messed up our ability to keep up with the clock. But think about this, okay? So the heliocentric lie, and I'm going to do a stream in the near future, just decapitating space-time once and for all, right? The theory of relativity, thoroughly. So stay tuned for that. But as I was sitting here, I was thinking about that yesterday. So this is what they've done. The heliocentric model is just stupid, right? It's fictitious. It has no evidence whatsoever. And then you've tried to reverse engineer this model. You've come up with ways to change the model, fluctuate the model, come up with different examples based on what you observe, your phenomena. And now we have people in 2021 that run around with these examples of explanations that people have created to try to explain how the earth could be a ball. And they will tell you the explanation as if it is proof the earth's a ball because the phenomena happens. But the phenomena always happened. Then they came and tried to come up with the story to explain it under the paradigm of assuming the earth was a ball. It's very, very dumb, but that's a spell. What spells do is make you operate effectively at a very, very dumb, low vibration. Okay, because you're under a spell. That's why people are still scared of the air during the summer when it's beautiful. That's why people will say, oh, 0 mask, 1 mask, no mask, 2 mask, 3 mask, 5 mask, hazmat suit, crawling off fours, bark like a dog. The only way that you're not going to die from the air is if you wear shackles. They'll do whatever. They're a zombie, right? They are in a spell state. So with this model, it's all mathematical constructs, right? Like, follow me here, because I think that I kind of put it together. It's all math, all of it. Like when you start looking into the depth of the theory of relativity, it is awful. It is a train wreck, bro. It's a joke. I can intellectually eviscerate anyone that claims they're going to come to the plate and defend the theory of relativity. I wish they would, bro. You can't. It's dumb, okay? And of course, you can refute the theory of relativity with the fact that you cannot attribute physical properties to concepts. Conceptual abstractions cannot have physical properties. Literally, that's dumb. It makes no sense. You can't bend freedom. You can't bend love. You can't bend, warp, or dilate space nor time, nor the combination of them, as if they transform via some Dragon Ball Z transformation and become some new superhero. No, that's not how it works. Concepts don't have physical properties. It's inadmissible on its face. Goodbye, theory of relativity. I'm going to decapitate it much more thoroughly than that in a stream here coming soon, because I think a lot of people need to hear it because they don't know it, and they need to realize the depths of just how ridiculously wrong this model is, how it's known to be very wrong, and how if you look into the highest levels of education and professors and physicists, quote unquote, scientists that work on this model and in this realm of what they call science, which is just pseudoscience, they know it's wrong. They know for a fact it's wrong in many, many, many ways. It's laughable, but it's all math. It's mathematical constructs. And then the math is applied to a concept that is so counterintuitive, so illogical and unfounded that dumb people will in fact interpret their ability to recollect it as intelligence, if you're following me, right? It is so counterintuitive and stupid with every one of its claims that when people don't fully understand it, they actually equate it to being profound, and they attribute a genius status to Einstein for proposing it because they don't understand it. And it's not just dumb people that don't understand it. It's just something that's stupid and can't be understood because it doesn't make any sense and it's contradictory, right? But anyway, it's all proposed via mathematical constructs, the fluctuation of that. Now, this is my whole point. How have they pulled off the biggest spell of all spells? I would say the biggest spell is taking you away from the Father and making you think that you came from nothing or that the scriptures aren't true or whatever, right? But clearly, like the biggest spell ever cast in the world was about the world itself, right? Like about the earth. People actually think they live on a ball that's giant and spherical and spins in a vacuum. They actually think this. How did they pull that spell off, right? We're not going to discuss really if it's a spell. It's like, it's obviously a spell. How did they pull that spell off, though? Do you think that they all got in a little room and, yeah, they do play dress up in the dark like grown men that are psychos? Like, I just never will get it. But do you think they just got over here and they started rubbing their hand feverishly like grabblers, and then they just like poofed their hands? Think they all got Harry Potter sticks and started pointing them at everybody? No. They needed your compliance. They got you at a young age. The reason they got you at a young age is to make you, well, not even necessarily believe it. It's to get your cooperation, to get your compliance with the model, so that you will think that you owe it to society to do your part to try to figure out the discrepancies or question marks. Because that's what science is, just try to figure everything out, but you can never prove anything, right? They'll brainwash you with whatever sentiment that they can. Now, here's where it gets crazy, bro. What exactly is math? Who made it up? If you try to track Hebrew back, you're going to get to the Babylonian cuneiform. Like there's Paleo Hebrew before that, but everything's written in Babylonian cuneiform. Babylon this, Babylon that. What's the Saros cycle? How they supposedly predict eclipses? Is it really prediction? It was post-diction. It was just them writing down the cycle of the sky. It goes back to the Chaldeans, 2500 BC. Babylonian. Everything is Babylonian and mathematical in nature, right? Everything. So what exactly is the source of these complexities in math? Right? Now, globe earthers, what they'll do is they'll attack me any way that they can. They'll talk about my tooth, which my tooth got chipped when I was 11 years old. I had it fixed and knocked it back out on accident, and I just haven't fixed it out of principle of proving to myself I don't care what other people think. They'll talk about my tooth. They'll claim I'm on drugs when I'm literally 100% sober. They'll do anything that they can. They'll claim I'm stupid, claim I'm dumb, when my IQ literally proves that that's not the case. Of course, it's bigger than IQ. It doesn't matter. Who cares? And they'll say, oh, you just can't understand math. And I literally used to get accused of cheating in my algebra honors class, right? Because I wouldn't show my work and I'd be the first done it, and she thought I was cheating. And I'd have to go, she'd give me a new piece of paper, a new test, and I'd just breeze through it in front of her again, and to prove I wasn't cheating. And then she'd end up accusing me of cheating again, and numerous math classes this actually happened. But
It doesn't matter. I'm certainly not trying to brag. I'm making a point, right? I actually do have an aptitude for math. There's something kind of cool about it. It's like when you build something, right? When you build something via carpentry and you step back, you're like, I built that. It's satisfying, right? It's like you did it. Math is similar in this way. If you get a very complex equation and you get it finished efficiently and you sit back and you're like, bang, it's like this feeling of satisfaction or whatever, I guess. Not near as cool as actually building something, though, which is what we're supposed to do as men. Now, here's my whole point. The way that they have created this spell and built upon this spell was with the compliance of everyone. But there needs to be an emotional connection in the spell. I think I've cracked the code, a major component of how the heliocentric model spell works, okay? These people have to be emotionally attached to the spell, to the lie. They have to give their emotional compliance and agreement to the lie, right? And that is what builds it. It makes it stronger. And also removes the repercussions, natural law. So when they get these quote-unquote scientists, just mathematicians, psychopaths, that run around in the fantasy realm of math as if the math will prove their theory and somehow will actually mean that it accurately represents reality, just because they can mathematically theorize something. And they actually can't, by the way. When I decapitate theory of relativity, I'll show you guys. They can't even mathematically do any of it. It's so funny. It's hilarious. Gilbert's will be like, you don't even get math. That's why you think the Earth's flat. Your side, with trillions of dollars and all the people in the world, still can't mathematically work it out, bro. You're lost. You don't get it. But here's my bigger point, and I'm not going to keep dragging them out. The way that the spell worked was they got a bunch of people trying to explain the discrepancies in the model, explain the phenomena in this presupposed model that defies physics. And they work out math equations. And the complexity compounds and compounds because they're built on a theoretical house of cards. And this is why, if you actually are intelligent and you look into stuff like the theory of relativity, you will find out very quickly, if you're honest, it is a train wreck. And it continues to get more complex. And it attributes mathematical figures to theories that can't even exist. Even in theory, they can't exist, right? Like they're logically inconsistent. And then you sit there and you try to mathematically figure it out. Now, as someone feverishly tries to map out this equation and they come to some type of a solution or an illusion of a solution or some type of answer, right? They then get excited, emotionally connected to their input. The math itself, the complex math equations, have to be there so that all the individuals put their part into making the spell of heliocentrism work, as they literally have to write something down. It's like, I think it involves alchemy, it involves will, it involves the spell, and it involves the actual math itself. And as they write down this math, right, it actually has to be coherent. It has to come out with a solution, right? So what they have done, and it is brilliant, and certainly not done by these stupid men that die, in my opinion. They have created a methodology where humans will write down the math, okay? They will create the solution, right? So they will work out a problem and it will come out in a coherent form of a solution, right? Like a product with some type of order to it. They have tricked the humans, let's say, into actually making this addition to the spell. Like, it can't be incoherent. It has to have some type of substance to it. It has to be like a well-equipped addition to the spell, if you guys are following me. That's what the math itself was designed to do from the beginning, the complexities of the math, not just adding and counting your sheep, right? We're talking about the complexities of algebra as you apply it to all this theoretical physics, and just the rabbit hole never ends. They've gotten people all over the world for hundreds of years to just drown in these math equations and basically stamp their spiritual residue on it with their compliance and their final solution, then present it to the model, present their intellectual and emotional compliance to the model, to the spell, in the form of a finalized product of these equations. And that's what they are. They're just literal, like, finalized products of equations to put into the spell, and they got people doing it all over the place. And that's why it's flooded down with math. That's all it is. It's literally a spell built upon illusion, right? And the math has pulled out a component of your free will and given it to that spell, to the illusion, to the lie, to the deception of the heliocentric model with your compliance. It's actually brilliant. I hope that I'm doing a good job of explaining this. It's kind of a profound idea. You have to give some type of coherent, finalized product in compliance to further the spell. You have to go put that mask on every day. You have to pull it out of your purse and put it on before you walk in the store. You have to go stand in line to be genetically modified. You have to cheer on the fact they're going to go blow people up in the Middle East. You have to agree. They need your agreements. They need your compliance. And with this model, they've got the compliance in numerous ways. But from the very base fundamentals, the foundation, they have all these people running around trying to explain the model and giving everything that they have, every ounce of intellect that they have, trying to theorize things that cannot be theorized because it is intrinsically impossible, right? Yet it's a fool's errand where as long as you put everything you have into it and then you deliver a product, you have helped build the strength of the spell and it continues to propagate. The spell doesn't work without the people themselves that the spell is cast on, period. They can go up with all the spells they want to, but they have to get the people to do it. They have to get the people to put their own emotional input in and to help build the spell, right? So math itself, I mean, like the complexities of math, I think 100% a little grabbler trick from the beginning, Babylonian deception. And Babylon, again, Babel means confusion. That is what this is. You don't have any empirical evidence. You don't have any actual naturally occurring observable phenomena. Nothing. But you dive into the realm of mathematical confusion. Okay? And that is how they have gotten people just walking around like zombies, never even thinking about where they live. I didn't care about where I lived. I never thought twice about it. We know the Earth's a globe. Who even thinks about that? I just have to go to football practice. I thought that physics was cool, but who cares about the Earth being a ball? No one thinks about that. You just walk through it because the whole trick is that you don't understand the importance of being connected to where you live and how beautiful it was created and how it's special and how powerful everything around you is. And the implications that come with recognizing it are huge, right? That's the whole trick. It's not so much, yeah, I tell the normie, they're getting $60 million a day, they're hiding land and resources, the most valuable thing in the world. And it does certainly appear they're hiding land. But dude, it's bigger than that. It's that you won't reach your individual power because you don't even realize the power of where you live, or you have no connection to where you live. That's the whole problem. That's the whole point, right? That's the spell. And so my whole overarching theme here is the spells are not some crazy, powerful, metaphysical, like spirit bomb they're throwing at you, right? It is people complying, and via their compliance, the spell actually works. And pump the brakes on the math, bro. Pump the brakes on the math. Step back. I want you to think about, where did that math come from? That's what I want you to do. I want you to actually think about where the math came from. What's the purpose of it? It's going to all track back to Babylon. All of it. And this is their final trick. So in English language, we spell words. The actual way that we communicate is spelled. That's literally what it's called, to spell words. And again, most of you guys know this. Most truthers know this, right? Like, there's like the television. All the words are for a reason. Like, what do you channel? What else do you channel, right? But you have TV channels. Broadcasting, just like you cast spells. It tells lies to your vision. Remote control, like remote viewing, right? Remote viewing, sending frequencies at you, everything, okay? You say curse words. Curse words. You write in cursive. The words and numbers are how they have basically led humanity into a sleepwalking process of just being under spells. And that's what the whole thing is. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, I think that the Trump thing is their best play. They'll get people so worked up and it's so emotionally connected, the spell will work. That's why this worked for a while. Even the truthers had this like underlining tone of fear. A lot of them, when it first came out, if you're being honest, a lot of them were in fear. And it was a bit crazy, right? The whole world shut down. That's why the spell worked. Even with the truthers' compliance, they freaked out. When they get emotionally connected and they introduce their compliance, their energy, their frequency, their vibration, right? Their spiritual residue is left behind within the spell. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so that's what this whole thing's about. And so what's the ultimate trick? I don't know. It's going to require compliance, and it isn't going to be just this single round of genetic modification. It's something bigger than that. And there's going to be some type of an event that is very meticulously orchestrated to get you to feed into and build the spell. And the final spell will be, a combination of spells, but it will be the Great Deception. Like, spells are very real. I don't want to be too redundant. I just want you guys to understand, step back and think about how you say, when you say it, what you listen to, what you consume, how you act around other people, what you believe, even subconsciously, how it affects what you're doing, any type of thing that you're putting your will into, your emotion into, your intention into, because your intention is like the most powerful thing ever. This has been known for thousands of years. If you can combine the idea of thought and emotion, or thought, emotion, intention, all into the singular force, you can manifest things, right? So that's the whole trick. It's not, these people aren't geniuses. They've just removed some very simple, objective truths of life, and they know them. So like when they're like, why would they lie? Well, knowledge is power. It's much more powerful when you're the only one with it. It wouldn't be powerful if they weren't the only ones with it, because they're simple truths. It's not like it required some like insane ability from their end to understand it. They just removed it from you, so you didn't even know it was there, right? And so that's the whole thing. Now, again, I think that we're about to have one of the biggest spells ever cast on us. It could be 3 years, could be 1,000. But I really think the math, it's the equations, bro. When people sit down and they feverishly try to figure out equations and put everything they have into it, and they think they come up with a final product that they present to the pseudoscientific community, and then they compound it all together to try to update the theory and add it in and come up with all of that. You sent in a final form of like a contract. You sent in a balanced out contract with your emotional free will involved. That's what built the whole heliocentric model, bro. I think the math is so incredibly powerful, it would blow your mind. Just a theory. I think that the equations of nonsense that people are obsessed with to build this model are incredibly powerful, and we don't even fully understand how. I don't think that there's definitely something to it, because as I look into the depths of some of this pseudoscience, it is ridiculous. How is there not one person like me sitting in the lecture that's like, wait up? Because it's like the students don't follow what he's saying, and if you do, you're just like, this is awful, bro. This is why we have people running around thinking they can switch genders. This is why we have mass murder of defenseless, innocent babies, and this is why no one wants to humble themselves and get right with the Creator, apply the scriptures, get back to the Torah. This is the source of so many problems that we have, all the apathy and the nihilism. So basically what I'm trying to say is everything they do, it's actually look at it from the perspective of a spell. Now, a lot of you guys already do that, but I think you got to get on this vibration here to be able to see through it. This is how you'll be able to predict things better, like pattern recognition, right? Like everything's a spell, everything. And if I had applied this better, for example, if I had applied understanding the mechanism of the spell they're casting onto us better, I wouldn't have predicted Donald Trump would be president right now, because he could not be in office whenever the economy collapses. He can't be heralded as some type of financial hero. It was inevitably going to collapse. That's what a bubble is, right? Up, down. They printed all the money under him. So you have to put the fall guy in. So the gas prices are now Biden's fault. No, they're not. No, they're not. And it's not a president's fault anyway. It's just the idea that someone's in charge, and so what happens under them, they're responsible for whatever, right? That's the whole idea. That's the spell. That's why there is truth to, this is important. I want you guys to listen, right? There's truth to the system's fake. Voting, what is voting? Oh, by the way, you cast votes. Just like you cast spells. You cast votes. And the election, who are the elect? Who's the real divine council, right? What does DC really stand for? So anyway, whenever you say this, I think this is important, right? The system doesn't matter. It's all fake. That is true. But that is not where the power comes from. It is the compliance. It is the metaphysical undertones of what they're telling you. That's what it is. If they can guide your mind, emotional connection, reaction, physical actions based on this narrative, whether you believe it or not, they still got you. So at the same time, completely blocking it all out really removes the responsibility we have to try to help people out and figure out what's going on and warn them, right? So this requires some wisdom and discernment here, but you want to be able to keep up with what they're doing so that you can understand the spells that they're casting, so you can try to pull people out from underneath the spell, wake them up, point them to the Father. So don't just be like this nihilistic, it doesn't matter, black pill, doomer, or whatever. That's not how it works. That's not. Like, you have to keep up with it. So that's what I'm saying. If I had understood the spell they were casting more so, and like I think I still believe I got the spell right. The spell is Hegelian dialectic, like always, and the spell will be that they will get the people to demand a hero, and they will supply him, and it looks like it will be Trump. But I should have known, of course, via pattern recognition, that they will have to remove him so that people will demand him feverishly while they set up the paradigm for it to be completely replaced. And that's what we're seeing right now. So there you go. There's my take on all that. Just freestyling about it. If you don't know that this is a spell, I don't know what to do for you. I don't know what to do for you. That's the world that we live in. This right here. This is 2020. This is what we live in. So the spells are everywhere, bro. They're everywhere. And it's all about compliance. And so all of this to say, the overarching point here, you're not going to be able to reach everyone, man. They're under a spell. But here's the key. They want to be under the spell. They don't even know it's a spell. It doesn't matter. They want to be under the spell. They agreed to the spell. You know, you get really frustrated and you're like, I don't know if I can take this. My family's not listening to me. My family's going to go get genetically modified. They're not listening to me. They're not waking up. I can't get them to realize the truth about the earth. No, they're not listening. This is the blunt, hard truth of the matter. They want to be under the spell. Want to be. Doesn't matter if they intellectualize it, vocalize it, verbalize it. Doesn't matter. In the spiritual realm that it is completely known their intention, they want to be there. And they will be given over to it. And, you know, they will be, in the end, they will be handed over to their delusions, for they no longer had love of the truth. That's what you're dealing with. So when I say zombies, yeah, like zombies as in they're under a spell. And I mean, they are, you know, I can't get specific, we all know it, but, you know, they are flirting with some like crazy actual application of the idea at the same time. So anyway, wake up, stop complying to the narratives, to the false binaries, to the false dichotomies, to all of these orders or rules or talking points of what to argue about. You are having a spell cast onto you and you are falling for it. And the spells are what it all comes down to. It all comes down to spells. A way to metaphysically coax you out of your intention and compliance and to align that with their intention. But by making you do it, you have to do it. And they don't make you do it. Coaxing you to do it. That's the whole trick. And I think most people know this, but some people are just now waking up that come across some of these channels or these videos, especially when I'm out there handing out the QR code. So you need to realize that when you wake up and you, by your own free will, choose to turn on the news every day and get hit with all kinds of frequencies of a broadcast while you use your remote, you have chosen to do that. You're taking part in the spell. You're having a spell cast on you every single day. It was meticulously engineered by the CIA. The CIA, Operation Mockingbird, took over the news. The same CIA is the one that looked into how to brainwash you with frequencies. You think that's a coincidence? It's like they give flat screens away nowadays. It's just like NASA memorabilia. You go through Walmart, it's going to have a 55-inch TV for $298 or something crazy. It's like, how? What are you talking about? A nice quality NASA hoodie, $5. Why? So they want you to have these TVs, right? And these screens are flirting with the same thing. And that's when you get into black mirrors and black magic. But like, just so you know, it's much better that you have a phone or a computer and you're looking up like productive, substantive content and quality information instead of just like blindly agreeing to the spell they decide to cast that day. That's what the news is. That is why we've lost a huge percentage of the population that we may never get back. They are under spells from the TV, from the news. It is the number one weapon in the world. It has got them. They're under a spell from the freaking news station. You can't even make it up. The news has literally put them under such a spell successfully that they will not be awakened. They want to be there. So I just hope that this makes sense to people that need to hear it. Let it go. There's the people that are under a spell. It's not your fault. You're supposed to plant a seed, maybe. You're supposed to come by and water the seed, maybe. You are supposed to speak the truth. You aren't supposed to sit there and beat someone over the head with it. They're asleep, bro. They're in a slumber, a spell. They're not waking up. They want to sleep. They want to watch TikTok and Snapchat and run around being a little scuzzy, turning up, whatever it is. They've chosen their slumber, bro. Right? So you can only be the alarm clock to someone who actually has intentions of getting up in the morning. And that's what it all comes down to. So there you go. Be very skeptical of any type of work they give you in higher education nowadays. Same thing. It's not just math. But when it comes to the heliocentric model, the complexity of the lie and the magnitude of the lie require complexity of compliance. And that's where you got the complexity of mathematical equations trying to explain theoretically impossible postulations. I know sometimes I get wordy. It's not. It's how my brain works, so I can make my point out. It's actually like inefficient, right? Because like it just is what it is. So there you go. Just be very cautious. Look at everything like, what's the spell on this? And when you start to look at it like that, you will realize that everything is hidden in plain sight. Everything's a spell, and you can pretty easily be deceived into giving some of your intention or free will or power over to that spell. And you just want to be careful. And I think that running around having sex with a bunch of random people for the intentions of having sex really weakens your protective ability to stand against the spells. Like lying and anything you do to go against the Torah, right? It removes your spiritual protection, and now you're more vulnerable to the spells. I literally would say eating pork makes you more vulnerable to spells being cast on you. That's what I actually think. So there's my rant. I think that we're gonna see some more crazy spells, but that's what this all comes down to. And if the more preposterous, the more blatantly obvious the spell is, the more power they get from it, because the more power you give away. That's why they don't get really tricky trying to deceive you. They're like meticulous deception aspect of everything. It comes from like their bigger picture of putting things together, which I don't even know that I can just attribute that to men alone over lifespans, right? It just doesn't quite add up. They're dumb. They're dumb, fleshly driven psychopaths. Read their literature. The smartest ones. Now, in today's society, someone tries to go and read Albert Pike. Most people won't even understand him. But the truth is, Albert Pike wasn't like just that smart. he was decently smart, but they're dumb at the same time. They're just like fleshly driven robots running around, attacking one another, not really knowing what's going on, just trying to gain power, trying to continue to fulfill their fleshly desires that they can never actually satiate. So that's what it comes down to. Like, they're not as powerful as you think. Something's behind the scenes. Even if it's just collective malevolence, right? Whatever you want to call it. But like, that's the only part of this that is like meticulously crafted. It's the larger picture. Outside of that, it's not. And they're not going to be incredibly deceptive. They're not going to be deceptive with it, because they need you to comply, and they need you to have ample opportunity to know that what you're doing is a deception, that what you're falling for is a deception. You have to go along with it. The more obvious, all that to say, in conclusion, here's my point. It seems like the how obvious the spell is cast out and easy to see through, right? How obvious it is, the obvious nature of the spell itself is proportionate to how much power it's supposed to obtain, how much power they're going to get out of it. So they're taking big steps right now, pretty clearly. And by the way, side note, 2021, 2022, 2023, 6,066. Just if you combine the next 3 years. I don't even know, take it or leave it, whatever. But as they continue to take these steps towards bigger leaps and power grabs, then they will become more obvious, which means the spells will become more absurd, more preposterous, and it's going to do this. We are being separated. Okay, this is my conclusion for you. We're being separated, and we're like right here. We're already starting to feel it. It's like people over here, I don't know that I can get them. What's going on? How do you not see this? Virgin Galactic Flat Earthers are like, wow, you didn't even go where you claim space is. Wow, you floated around for 4 minutes. Why is the window showing you a concave Earth over there? That's dumb. Rest of the world, we're sending people to space now. How exciting. We are veering away from one another. And as these new spells come out, because they will have to be more preposterous for them to get the power. That's what I'm hoping that you're understanding. The lies, the spells, will have to be way more absurd for them to get as much power as they want. And as this happens, what will happen? The gap in between these two groups will grow exponentially. Okay? And it'll get to where this side cannot see through anything, and this side has seen through all of it. And it's like, didn't even have to try to see through it, saw through it. They fall for anything once they get all out here. See through all of it, because it's all like basically elementary level lies. Can't see through anything. We are watching that happen. And as this happens, there are some people in between my hands that you're supposed to go out there and reach. Focus on them. Focus on them. Help them break out of the spells. Let them know they're under spells. Be cautious of any type of spell that you are compliant with. It's the only way a spell works. It's going to get crazy in the near future. I could be 10, 20, 500 years. I really don't know, but it does definitely appear that you should prepare for this sooner than later. So that's my take on all this. I know a lot of you guys have heard a bunch of this, but hopefully that made sense. It's kind of hard for me to put that into words very well, but they already have Neuralink. Yeah, that's towards the end. Yeah, think about how preposterous that is. So, I mean, if you fall for a spell as absurd as to put a chip in your brain to let them control it, do you deserve to be a zombie? I mean, maybe. They say that waking up is hard to do. I guess. I don't know. I mean, I can't really. It wasn't an Albert Pike that said when the world needs a hero, we will supply them with one. I don't know. Was that Albert Pike? Maybe so. I really don't know. But I definitely do know I've heard that quote. And I don't know if that was Albert Pike, though. But, he's coming, by the way. Dude, it's Donald Trump, man. It's pretty clearly Trump. It's possibly not him. Possibly. He's coming, bro. And they will, it says in the Protocols of Zion that they will expose the world's government with the most colorful of hues, right? So like, it's gonna be crazy, guys. You need to realize that Flat Earth doesn't save you. I'm sorry, it doesn't. There's only one thing that saves you: the spirit of Yah. He was an evil man. That just goes to show they have everything planned. Yeah, like they have an overarching macro plan, but the psychopaths that roll it out, you know, in my opinion, they're just bumbling moronic psychos. That's what I actually think. Pigs are here to be janitors, not food. Yeah, pork's disgusting. Remember, looking at vortex mathematics shows numbers have some form of a charge, aka numbers have some form of a frequency. Math has a charge. Interesting. Yo, I think that math is the big thing. The complexity of these equations that they have got people to comply with, that tried to solve for the heliocentric model, is why it was so successful. It's like you're putting in your spiritual input, stamping it in a coherent form, you know, coherent to the final product. It's very brilliant, guys. You gotta look at it from a metaphysical aspect. Like, it's what a trick, bro. What a trick, dude. That blows my mind when you really think about the impact of that. I agree also in the way the language and mathematics is all intertwined in the calendar. It's very, very meticulous. No man could have created it. It goes back to Babylon and what I would say probably the Watchers, but I definitely agree. Divided and conquered for sure. As you guys can tell, I'm getting tired. My eyelids are getting heavy. It's 12:30 here. Oh, and just in case you don't know this, and actually the first person that planted this seed in my head was Latter-day Saints. Shout out to Latter-day Saints. But like, yeah, so the elite look at their day like it's the first day of the year is 322. That's why 322 is the number for skull and bones, March 22nd. Typically the vernal equinox, the day where there's equal sun and night, 21st, 22nd. And so then they say the New Year's 322, which is what it represents the skull and bones. And then they tell you that in the 10th month, Dece 10 December, that you celebrate New Year's Eve, and you go 3, 2, 1, New Year's. Well, 3, 2, 1 would be New Year's Eve to their new year. I just found that pretty interesting, but there's a little side pie to go for you. If we want to change things, we have to get together. Well, we should build like sustainable developments, yeah, and not depend on Babylon. But if we want to survive, we need to get right with the Father. Like, that's the only way. There's a program called Babel on TV to learn other languages. Yeah, I know, I saw that. And dude, it's just like whenever children come out speaking, they call it like babble. They're incoherently babbling, babble, as if something doesn't make sense. And then there's the whole idea that the children are actually coming out trying to speak Hebrew, like Abba is father, you know, like Abba. No, it's daddy. No. The baby said Abba though. Leave it alone. No. You don't need to, like the, which I hate whenever the Hebrew, like, right? I'm terrible at it. Anytime I think about it, I don't want to do it. It's been engineered out of me to do it, but babies do that all the time. So very interesting. They call it Babel. And yes, I heard a advertisement when I was chilling with Forrest in Florida about language program that teaches you how to speak languages called Babel. Just a coincidence. Self-sustainability, get with like-minded brothers and sisters. I definitely support that. I like to call out New Year's Eve 5 minutes early just to piss everyone off. I always wondered if babies speak a language we don't understand. I think they come out trying to start speak Hebrew. Like, I think that they're trying to speak Hebrew. Oh, yeah. And they have it all engineered out of them with all these spells, and they teach them how to say words and spell words. But all right, I'm going to get out of here. If y'all got anything y'all want me to talk about, hit me up in the chat for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to get out of here. My eyelids are heavy. I got to wake up and do a few things tomorrow, and then we got to go get there early. Get there early. Get there early. So, you know, flat smack the NBA Finals, no big deal. Hey, Austin. Hey, Carla. All right. I'm going to catch up with you guys later. So basically, in conclusion, it's very simple. Thank you, man, and thank you for all you're doing. No problem. Can you speak on the difference between Judaism and Zionism? Yeah, Zionism is like more of a political movement to take over the world. And, of course, I would say the problem with modern Judaism is just the people within that ideal that promote ethnic supremacy. I think that any version of ethnic supremacy is disgusting. But I would say, yeah, Zionism is more of a political, like a geopolitical movement. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. So there you go. They brainwashed you from an early age, and millions and billions of people all around the world have seen this nonsense. It's all about actual spells. Spells are very real. They want your compliance. When you watch that stupid movie, you're complying. Of course, we have the NBA Finals coming up tomorrow. Of course, I also show this a few times. This is called a spell. I can't breathe. I know you can't. Look at what you're wearing on your stupid face. That's a spell. They're everywhere. Just start looking for them. Start looking for them. The spell is going to be sitting in plain sight so that it is effective. Always. Always. If you have to dig down a little bit, dig through a bunch of nonsense that's piled on top of it, once you see it, it's just sitting there for everyone to see. Right? That's my point. It's in its purest form. It's sitting right there. That's the only way it would be effective. But anyway, tomorrow we will be flash smacking this area. It's called Deer Park in Milwaukee, where they had tens of thousands of people come and watch the game outside of the stadium. NBA Finals, Game 4. If they win tomorrow, it'll be 2-2, and then they'll have to play a Game 6. We may stay for Game 6 as well, depending on how it goes or what the pentagram wearers are up to tomorrow. But I would definitely stay tuned. It's going to be pretty wild, and I'm going to try to bring a basketball to everyone. Look, dearest, not this stupid thing. And I'm actually going to try to buy a cheap knockoff version of a Milwaukee Bucks jersey to give me like a little bit of protection, like aura protection. Like they won't come at me so fast because like I'm wearing a Bucks jersey, bro. We're supposed to be on the same team or whatever. But yeah, so it should be interesting. Stay tuned to that. So I want to go ahead and wrap it up and get some Z's so I can like take care of everything I have to tomorrow. We can get out there. Santa Cruz, is that what it says on the drink? Yeah. I just know it's organic juice, man. That's all I know, man. I'm like a juice addict. Just always drink juice, man. I watch every flat making, and you are rocking it better each time. I've heard the points before again and again, but I watch to see your growth in your delivery. Thank you, man. Much love. Yeah, I'm trying to get to where I can add different things to it so it won't be so redundant for you guys. Sun's out, guns out, post up. Yeah, the game's technically tomorrow night at 8, but we're going to get there a little early. Come out to Cali. We are. We definitely are. We'll be at Tricamp Boot Shop. Tricamp Boot Shop. Austin, this is your big brother. You will crush beyond a shadow of doubt. You will take a lot of people. You will wake a lot of people up. Thank you, man. Much love. Why is the serpent gentle as a dove? Shalom to you, 70 times 7. Sweet, man. Got to eat those high vibe foods and drinks. Yeah. All right, so I love you guys. Don't fall for the spells. Wake up. I'm going to decapitate space-time so efficiently. That's why I didn't want to rush it tonight. Or it's going to be ridiculous because I'm tired of hearing people talk about the nonsense. I'm just going to show you how stupid their fairy tale is. So for those of you that are new to the channel, I know there are quite a few of you now, just be patient with me. Don't worry. I'm going to show you how stupid that lie you once believed in, or maybe still are reluctantly letting go of, really is. So there you go. Awesome real rant. Thank you, man. All right, seek and speak truth unequivocally. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. So don't really care what they say, right? So like I've been saying, intelligent people don't care what dumb people think. Strong people don't care what weak people think. Informed people don't care what ignorant people think. No big deal, right? So seek and speak truth unequivocally. Seek and speak it. That's a big part that I think that a lot of people are kind of throwing on the back burner there. Speak the truth unequivocally. Shout out to everyone that's supported the tour with donations. You guys are the only way that it's possible. A lot of finances. I think you guys know that. And I'll read the donations in the next one. I don't think that I have any, so we'll be fine. But if I did miss some, I don't know. I will read them. I'll read them in the next stream, though. So I love you guys. And, of course, if you do want to support the tour, $WitsitGetsIt on Cash App or witsit@protonmail.com on PayPal. You can also go to masqueradetour.com for contact, donate information, our location, images, one of the recent streams, etc. And yeah, I'll get the merch situated, so we'll get some Masquerade Tour shirts made and stuff like that. So blah 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 blah. We have a lot of pretty good content coming up for you guys. It's just a lot. And yeah, I do think I'm gonna do the morning streams. So I may actually do one tomorrow morning. It's kind of a busy day, depends on how everything goes. So there you go. Stay tuned. I do occasionally just take a couple day break on doing content just because I think that everyone kind of needs that. I did a live stream on Facebook earlier, but anyway, I hate long goodbyes. So whenever they revile you for his name's sake, rejoice, for they did that to all the prophets before you. So rejoice when they revile you. That means you're doing something right. Watch out for the spells. Think for yourself. Do not allow them to coax you into giving your compliance over to building up some bigger deception cast over people. Try to pull people out of their sleep state the best that you can. But some people are just literally under a spell, and they have actually chosen to be there, and they will be handed over to that great delusion if that's where they want to be. Just be willing to accept that, grow in strength, and understand that it's your job to take care of yourself, to take care of those close to you the best that you can, and to go out and to spread the good news to those that are ready to receive it, to those who have ears to hear. That's the most important thing. You can't save the whole world, but you should operate as if you can save tons of people within the realm of who can hear, right? Like, don't go one of two ways too extreme. Apply wisdom and discernment to the middle. I love you guys. I'll catch you later. Peace out.
That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting, say they high, say they sipping pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl, somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature, the mean extorted it. They forging it, if news anchors informants who informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this, we port in ships important. Yes, of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were snoring tricks. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting, say they high, say they sip with pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. geopolitically, yeah, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?